Check, 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 check. Can we get on with this? We're like an hour late.
31 years ago, Kurt Cobain took his own life at his house in Seattle. I was living in Seattle at the time. It's where I grew up. I've been a fan of Kurt's since 1988, and it really affected me back then.
Hi, I'm Kurt Loder with an MTV News special report on a very sad day. Kurt Cobain, the leader of one of rock's most gifted and promising bands, Nirvana, is dead, and this is the story as we know it so far. Cobain's body was found in a house in Seattle on Friday morning. He was dead of an apparently self-inflicted shotgun blast to the head. Police found what is said to be a suicide note at the scene, but have not yet divulged its contents. Cobain, who was 27, had reportedly been missing for about 6 days, according to his mother. The Los Angeles Times reported on Wednesday that Nirvana was breaking up and that Cobain was planning to undergo drug rehabilitation. A source close to the band told MTV News earlier this week that while that story sounded bad, it was better than what was, quote, really going on. That comment remains to be clarified.
I was working at Cairo TV, the local CBS affiliate on Channel 7, as an intern. I was going to Seattle Central Community College for television production. My assignment a few days after his death was to take this footage the camera person shot and create a package, and this is what I edited together.
And I noticed something on the floor. I thought it was a mannequin. So I looked a little closer and I said, geez, that's a person, you know, and then I...
Electrician Gary Smith was just looking for a way to run some electric cable around this house. What he found has now sent shockwaves around the world.
I looked a little closer and I could see blood in the ear and a weapon laying on his chest.
The medical examiner now confirms the body Smith found is that of Kurt Cobain, lead singer of Nirvana, the band that typifies Seattle grunge rock. Even before the body was officially identified, fans came running to Cobain's home.
We love him.
He taught
with
the music
from the time
and
I was 11 years old.
And he's
someone
such
that
part of our life with this music.
Someone that I have spoken to and someone that I have shared ideas and conversations with in our chance meetings here in Seattle, and someone that I really respected and looked up to.
And I can't believe what what this is going to do to Seattle music scene, for one.
Yeah. Seattle, you mean the world.
Reporters from across the country flooded in to find out why this rich, successful musician would take his own life. He left a suicide note, but authorities won't release it.
I only read the bottom lines on it. Bottom 2 lines said, I love you to someone.
We don't know if that someone is Courtney Cobain, Cobain's wife, who is said to be in California. But we do know that this is not the first time suicide has been mentioned in this home. Police reports from March 18th show that officers were called to the home that night. The report says Courtney Cobain told officers Kurt had locked himself in a room and that he was going to kill himself. She also stated that he had a gun in the room. Cobain told police he was not suicidal and didn't want to hurt himself. The report says due to the volatile situation with the threat of suicide and the recovery of unknown medication, the weapons and medication were placed into custody.
Magic has died, really. Think about it.
There's a Mazzy Star connection to Kurt Cobain's death. The night before he killed himself, which would have been April 4th, 1994, I was at a club in Seattle called Rock Candy to see a band. I don't remember which band who was playing, but I was with my friend Kurt, and Kurt was, I think, from the Bay Area, and he played with Mazzy Star guitar for a bit or rehearsals. I'm unclear on his connection with the band, but I know he played with the band for a short period. So I followed him, and we went to the back of Rock Candy because apparently Mazzy Star was in their tour bus. They weren't playing that night, but they were in their tour bus in the back of Rock Candy. So I followed him, and he talked his way into the bus, and we went to the back of the bus where the band was. And that was the first time I met Hope Sandoval or the band. I knew the song Fade Into You, but I didn't I didn't really know the band, and ever since that moment, I've been a big Mazzy Star fan. Collected all the vinyl, seen them numerous times, and it was pretty cool. I know I made no impression with them. I was just some guy who walked in the bus, but it was very interesting. And that was the night that was the day before Kurt Cobain killed himself, and then on the day that he killed himself, April 5th, I saw Mazzy Star play at the Moore Theater in Seattle, which solidified my love for this band. And we didn't know that Kurt Cobain killed himself until April 8th, 3 days later after Kurt died. An electrician found him, which is the clip that I played before. Back to Nirvana. I first heard Nirvana through the radio station KCRW in Auburn, Washington. That was the community college alternative station at the time. A friend of mine, Arendelle, was a DJ there. I think she did like the 2 in the morning to the 6 in the morning shift a couple days a week. And that's when I first heard them. That would have been probably 88, right before Love Buzz came out, or maybe when Love Buzz came out, and that's what they played. That would have been December of 88. And then Nirvana played at the Lindblom Center at Green River Community College, May 19th of 1989, and I went to that with some friends. We bought our tickets from Hunters and Collectors, which was the record store there in Auburn. I didn't like Kurt Cobain that night. You couldn't understand what he was saying. You couldn't hear the words. I was in the back of the Lindblom Center, and I remember the guitar. It was great, and I really enjoyed that. But just his singing, I wasn't very impressed. That I changed my tune later on, years later, about his singing. But that night, didn't love it. But still, I was a fan, and I started collecting the vinyl. If you've ever seen the blue 12-inch EP that they put out of the UK, the photo from that 12-inch is from the Lindblom Center when they played at Green River Community College. I bought the Love Buzz single when it came out, December in 88, at the record store Hunters and Collectors. I wrote my name on it, and I gave it to people and kind of trashed it, and I think it eventually got lost or thrown away. I had no idea that was going to be a $10,000 single, or how important that record would be to my collection. Since then, I've gotten the single 2 or 3 times. I currently have, I think, number 373. I'm not going to let go of that single at all.
I'm not going to read you all the note because it's none of the rest of your business, but some of it is to you. I don't really think it takes away his dignity to read this, considering that it's addressed to most of you. He's such an asshole. I haven't felt the excitement of listening to, as well as creating music, along with really writing something, for too many years now. I feel guilty beyond words about these things. For example, when we're backstage and the lights go out and the manic roar of the crowd begins, it doesn't affect me the way in which it did for Freddie Mercury, who seemed to love and relish the love and adoration from the crowd. Well, Kurt, so in what? Then don't be a rock star, you ass.
For the people who doubt, Courtney Love did not kill Kurt Cobain. He killed himself. He was a tortured soul. He had serious medical issues. He was in pain all the time. And he just lost it. Very sad.
It isn't a specific stomach ailment. It doesn't have a name or anything. I mean, it had been building up for so many years that I was, you know, suicidal. I mean, I just didn't want to live. So I just thought, if I'm gonna die, if I'm gonna kill myself, I should take some drugs, you know? May as well become a junkie, because I felt like a junkie every day.
That is my video on the 31st anniversary of Kurt Cobain's death. I wish it could have turned out differently. I wish he could have just retired from the music business and moved to Brazil and became a tortured poet. Or I wish he just stayed in Seattle and got a job at Sub Pop in the shipping department and been there all these years like Mark Arm of Mudhoney has done. Or even moved back to Aberdeen and lived a mellow, easy life. But that's not what happened. Rest in peace.